Hi, Chef Jolly here from the Home Kitchen. I thought of making something really comforting today, and one of my favorites is a biryani, and it actually is really popular right across the world. And as you know, one of the most popular dishes consumed today is a biryani. Now, I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritties of what biryani it is going to be, whether it's Lucknow, whether it is Hyderabad, whether it's Bohri biryani, or it is a Kerala biryani, or what. But the idea was to look into your cupboards and see what you have. But very close to a Calcutta biryani is what's on my mind today. And I'll explain you very quickly what exactly is a Calcutta biryani. But before that, in our biryani, I'm going to be adding lovely mutton shoulder pieces and potatoes. Yeah. Not very commonly consumed in a biryani, but Calcutta biryani has potatoes, and very, very traditional. If you serve a person from Calcutta biryani without potatoes, he is going to just write it off. So be watchful. The story goes like this. The last Nawab to reign in India was Nawab Wajid Ali Shah. And as towards his end, he was imprisoned, he was in Calcutta, the whole entourage was with him, and they couldn't afford the prime cuts, and things were getting expensive. He was imprisoned, he was off his title, so they thought, let's replace a part of the meat with potatoes. So it becomes economical, right? So that is one belief. The other belief is Portuguese came into India, they got these lovely vegetable called potatoes. It was quite novel, quite new, quite posh then. And then they thought, let's add these potatoes in the biryani and make it an exclusive sort of a dish. So, well, you can figure out what actually happened. I'm not getting into the debate. But the beauty of Calcutta biryani is it is very subtle, just like an Awadhi biryani. Now, well, again, there is a debate here. Is Awadhi a biryani or is it a pulao? I can certainly tell you there's a yakhni of mutton. Yakhni is a light stew of mutton is prepared along with the rice. It's aromatic, it's rich. To an extent that today I've got about 1.5 kilos of lovely mutton shoulder, which I love to use mutton shoulder, tender and nice. And half of that, so about 750 grams, is going to be the rice. So great portion when you eat as well, and rice does swell double, as you know. So we're going to do that. Great, very simple. The other thing today, interesting, is there's the least amount of prep. The very thought that biryani can be cumbersome, complicated, it's actually not. It's simple. All you need is the love, the passion, the time. It can take about 2.5 hours to do the biryani. So let's get cracking. What do I have? Key ingredients. Okay. I've actually picked up fried onion, and you can get fried onion from the shops, from the grocery stores if you like. It saves a lot of time, and then fried onion adds a lovely caramelized nutty notes to your biryani. I've got ginger and garlic paste. You can make that and keep it, right? We're going to use chili powder. We'll use turmeric powder. Yogurt. Yeah, yogurt is pretty much about 1/5 the weight of mutton, if you like. A bit of salt, and now the beauty is the flavors, the aromas. So in my cupboard, I had this lovely spice which I grind and keep it. It's a mix of green cardamom, lovely green cardamom, mace blade, beautiful, lovely aroma, cinnamon, and not to forget, we've got this beautiful rose petals, lovely rose petals. Yeah, it adds a beautiful aroma to it. To these ingredients, I add one more, that is nutmeg. Nutmeg, cinnamon notes are slightly higher in a Calcutta biryani as compared to an Awadhi biryani, which is more subtle, more saffron, green cardamom, mace, that sort of stuff. But I have got saffron as well, and I'm going to be generous with my saffron today. So yeah, and a bit of mint, coriander, green chili. That's it. And I'm going to soak the rice once I start with the mutton, because that might take about an hour. I need to soak this rice, about 750 grams of rice, for about a good half an hour, 40 minutes before I blanch it and lay it on the top. So I'm going to get cracking. All right. So let's get started. most importantly, now traditional biryanis are made in a dish like this. We call it the lagan. Some places they use a dek, which is made of brass or copper. You could also use stainless steel with a thick bottom. That bottom being thick only helps the meat not to burn, because it's going to be on a slow braise, right? That's key. So I'm going to be using this lagan, carried all the way from India. I love this, one of my favorite pieces of equipment, right? So this is what it is. Great, without delay, we're going to get cracking, and I'll tell you how simple this biryani can be. Really simple as a porridge. Trust me, okay? So the process, while this is heating up, the process is very simple. You cook it like a stew. You cook the mutton like a stew. Once it's done, you blanch rice, and once almost 3/4 done, you top it on that, seal it, and off it goes in the oven. As simple as that. It's done. But knowing when to take the rice off, it's almost blanches. It's key, needs to have a bite, because I want the rice to absorb all the goodness and all the flavors of the lamb stew, or the yakni as they call traditionally in India, in each grain of rice. Now that's beauty. Good. So let's start with oil. A lot of places use dalda or use ghee. Just use oil. It's nice. Yeah. We don't want too much oil. Add about 3 tablespoons once it heats up. And you will see it's as simple. I just put everything together, saute it, get it nice caramelized golden, and add some water in it. If you've got lamb stock, fantastic. I generally do lamb stock in my restaurants. At home I've got water. But if you pick up a nice good cut of lamb shoulder, the flavors from the bones ooze out, and try to use one with a bone. If you were to look, I've got this beautiful, lovely pieces that I'm going to be using today. Yeah, beautiful. And these beautiful potatoes, a nouvelle vegetable in those days. I'm going to start with, and yeah, before I forget, there's no whole spices, absolutely no whole spices. 2 reasons. One is, I've already done this beautiful, flavorful, aromatic spice blend with green cardamom, mace, cinnamon, nutmeg, and rose petal. So it's already ready. The other thing is, imagine if you're eating a biryani and this green cardamom or clove or something comes in your mouth, it jars the whole flavor, so the whole palate. You don't want that. You want seamless experience with every bite. This beautiful, juicy lamb, a nice, soft, rice blending it together, and just that kind of experience. That's what you need. So I don't want to use that. Simple as that. Good. Okay. Give it a bit of saute. A nice saute. You don't want to fry it totally. You want to give it a subtle golden sort of hue to it. You don't want to over fry it. At this stage, I'm going to chuck in some green chilies. Now these green chilies, I'm just going to pop it that way and leave it whole. I'm not going to cut it or do anything, because if you don't want the chili, you can just take it off, but the flavors come out, right? That's it. And as simple as that, all that mutton and everything goes in. Put this away. Look how simple at this stage. Yeah? Salt. I like to use crystals, salt crystals, Maldon salt. A good control of them. Turmeric. Really good spice. Superfood. Red chili powder. And this is Kashmiri Degi Mirch, so it adds a lovely amber's hue. It's not that hot and spicy. So. Yeah. good. At this stage, so keep giving it a lovely stir. Yeah, a nice stir. So if you were to look, keep stirring it. It probably takes a little while, should I say about 20-25 minutes. A nice gold sheen, a beautiful, the meat gets seared from all the sides, and at that time add the stock water, but before that it's yogurt. So and why do I like to use a shoulder? Shoulder is a lovely cut. It has, it's got great muscle. It's got lovely aromas, and yeah, it isn't as worked as the leg, so it is not that tough as well. It sort of cooks nicely, whilst the character, the notes, the texture is great. Okay. So whilst this is going on, let's soak the rice. Yeah. So that's about 750 grams of rice, as I just mentioned. It's a beautiful long grain basmati. What you need to ensure is that the grains don't look too translucent. They should be slightly transparent. There shouldn't be too much of that white notes in the rice. Yeah. What we're looking for is less of starch, otherwise it gets too sticky. So yeah, and that's beauty, because every single grain needs to have its own identity, and that's what we're trying to do. So I'm going to soak it. Best recommended to soak it for a good half an hour, even 45 minutes in cold water, and then you drain it out, drain the starch and clean it. So that's what I'm going to do while the lamb is getting sauteed, or should I say searing. Yeah. So there you go. Soak this in water, rinsed 1 or 2, and we're going to leave it for about half an hour, 45 minutes. In the meanwhile, the mutton would be cooking, or the lamb would be cooking well, and saves the time as well. So there you go. I'm going to put it on the side. Give it a stir. No spices have gone until now. We'll add it a little later, yeah, for the best flavors of spices to sort of do that. There's no point adding it right now. Pick up a lovely weekend, have about 2 hours ahead notice, cook it with lots of love, patience, get the right ingredients, you don't have to do too much, beautiful aromatic spices, and the dahiki chutney, which is very, very critical. So dahiki chutney is nothing but hung yogurt, and here I've used some Greek yogurt, which is a lovely, thick, full fat yogurt, garlic notes in it, chopped red onion, lime, salt, coriander or mint if you like, along with that, just beautiful, right? Okay. The meat's searing well. If you were to see, it's beautifully seared well. And at this stage, I'm going to add the yogurt. And along with the yogurt goes all the lovely greens, which is here as well. So, it goes in the yogurt. That's it. So whilst this is cooking, let me tell you, now there are different kinds of biryani, right? We just spoke about it. And biryani traditionally is cooked in steam, in dum as it's called. Dum is breathing in its own, dum bukht, breathing in the own steam or own sort of air. So they would actually seal it, cover it, and it keeps kind of cooking. And that's the biryani. And the beauty is all the flavors get captured well inside. Yeah, that's the beauty. Yeah, also, you know, you may have these pressure cookers back at home in India. Go ahead, use that at this level. You know, before you actually steam it up, use a wider mouth vessel if you like to finally steam it. But to cook it, you can cook it that. It saves time. So you might want to reduce the time by using that. I've got one, but I like this. I like the Lagan. It's classic. It's old school. It's tradition. It's gentle. It's so peaceful. Yeah, and I love it. So I'm gonna go with this. You can try the pressure cooker. Okay. The other thing is the beauty of using coriander and mint is you get to use the stem as well, because all the goodness lies in the stem, and I don't discard it. I actually put it in the biryani as well as it is, and if you want to remove it later you can remove it, but let the whole thing cook with it. So this is what I do. I just sort of break it this way and off it goes in it. As simple as that. Lovely notes of coriander and mint. Just a handful of each. Now at this stage, I'm going to be adding the garam masala. Yeah. So where is it? Yeah. Beautiful notes of green cardamom, mace, rose. Yeah. So that way. And the beauty of garam masala is the fresher it is ground, the lesser you need to put because of the intense oils which gets released with that. So that's the beauty. 2 spoons. When it starts to boil, I'm going to add some water in it, yeah, and then we'll cover it up and then start working on the rice. Right, I've heated the water in the kettle because the whole idea is that's brewing, it's hot, you don't want to add the cold water to cut the cooking process, you want to let it continue. So hot water in the kettle that goes in. Now I'm actually going to add about a liter of water, which is my estimate, because you don't want it to be too less, you don't want to be too more. If it is too more, I'm going to enjoy that extra stock as a soup, because you don't want the rice to be too gooey. But when we get there, I'll let you know. At this stage, we want the mutton to cook while having just about right amount of juices or the moisture or the stock or the yakni as it's called. So you want the right amount. Yeah. So I'm gonna add a little more because it's all going to dry up. Right. And for extra tartness, the tartness is really the key. So extra tartness, I'm going to add some lemon, beautiful lemon, and I'm going to actually chuck the lemon in the whole pot as well. And that reminds me, some of the Arabic preparations, they use these dried limes or the lemon, which you must have seen gets blackened and gets caramelized, right? But I'm going to use this lovely scented sort of, citric scent. So get the juices in there. I'm going to chuck this in. Yeah. One is good because the rind can get bitter as well, so you just want to be careful. Okay, it's starting to bubble. Beautiful. Starting to bubble. I like to keep getting to know my food in sort of every stage really. So I'm going to check the flavors, how they're all coming in, just to sort of get an idea. The mutton is not cooked right now, so be mindful as a chef. We get our sort of, we take smell, we do just the tasting notes, yeah? Perfect, the salt is right as that. You don't want to put more salt because it's going to reduce and only get saltier. So it's great so far. Good. I'm going to now leave it at this stage. Cover it up and forget it for some time. I'll probably say a good half an hour. In the meanwhile, let's make raita, okay? But it's very, very simple. I'll let you try your own recipe for raita. For me, it is hung yogurt, garlic a bit sauteed, finely chopped red onion, lemon juice or lime, bit of salt, finely chopped mint, as simple as that. A nice dollop of that on the biryani when it's ready. So, well, I'll do that just now. All right, let's check how this is getting along. Okay, it must be bubbling and cooking nicely. There you go. Look at that. Look at that, beautiful. That's what we need. Look at how thin. Yeah. In my opinion, this shouldn't take more than half an hour, 40 minutes to sort of get very, very tender. Cooking. We've got water put at the back to sort of start boiling. What I'm going to add in the water is really very, very important to know. So, okay, in the water, we're going to add a bit of these spices, the same spices that I put in the lamb, right? A bit of that. We'll add lemon with the rind. There it goes. And I've got a bit of kevra, vetiver roots, lovely aroma to it. Very, very mindful. You got to be very mindful that any excess of this only gets its overall product might get better and too artificial. You just want to blanch the rice in a scent of kevra, and that's it. You want that sort of lingering flavor notes, the smell, the aroma. You don't want it to really go poof on your face, yeah? Okay. So this is what you do. Bit of that. Salt. Salt should be in good amount because the rice needs to get the salty saline flavor. it wouldn't pick up the salt from the meat. So when you taste the water, when it's boiling, it should taste salty. That's the idea. Look at the amount of salt. Give it a stir. Taste the water. Right amount of salt. I like it. My personal experience in the kitchens is if you get the salt less at this stage, the whole overall experience of enjoying the biryani, you sort of miss the mark. So be very mindful when you're blanching the rice, it needs to be in good salty water. Good salty water. Because it's only going to absorb that much. Nice. Great. Let's cover it up. The other element that I wanted to let you know in a biryani is once the rice which is blanched goes on the top of the preparation, on the top of the rice, I make an emulsion of ghee, saffron and cream, but today I'm going to use milk. Keep it lighter, keep it refreshing, and a bit of those green cardamom and rose notes, just to sort of give that final burst of lovely aroma. Okay, so let's prepare that. I'm going to use a small pan, hot pan, whatever. Milk in it. This is a full fat milk, so this is good. Move this a little away. That's key. That's key. Really cool. I love this key. Be generous here. Don't worry about it. Ghee is good for health. Oh, you don't eat it every day, do you? So, yeah. Oh, let's split it. And where's my saffron? Saffron, yeah. Saffron goes in it. Beautiful saffron. The saffron, this is an Iranian saffron stigma. On one of my travels to Dubai, I bought it from there. And did you know saffron stigmas, only 3 stigmas per flower. The most expensive spice, one of my favorite. Okay, so saffron goes in this, but I'm not going to add it now. I'll add it when it sort of comes to about 60-70 degrees. I get it off the flame, then put it. You don't want to put it in boiling milk or water. It doesn't do justice to this beautiful spice, right? But I'm going to add spices, the aromatic spices. I'll also add rose petals. It's beautiful rose petals here. Beautiful rose petals. Lovely. Okay, great. That just comes to a lovely simmer. I'll get it off the flame. Preparing biryani is very sort of peaceful and satisfying, and you know that if you have the time, the patience and the love to make it, it's just going to come out perfect. But as of now, you see very simple steps. Put all the things together, let it come to boil. Once it's cooked, the steamed rice partially done goes on the top, and on the top this beautiful little emulsion which we're trying to make. You see this? Yeah. And then you seal it. Good, 15-20 minutes. I'm gonna preheat it oven, which I'll show that later to you. Voila, done. Okay. Oh, there are a couple of ways to seal this as well. Now forget, I'm going to make a quick dough, and dough, as you know, is nothing but whole wheat flour and water kneaded together like an atta. In India, as you know, people make parathas, rotis, chapatis, pulkas, you name it. I'm going to make that and seal it on the side as well, just now. Okay, so that'll be good. That's simple. You know how to make it. All right, the milk and ghee emulsion is sort of warmed up and nice. It's not bubbling, it's sort of simmering. And I'm going to add some saffron. Saffron goes in this. Beautiful. Lovely saffron. Some lovely notes. More. That's it. We're going to keep it on the side. When we heat it, we'll just sort of spread it on the top of the rice. And that's the atta I was talking about. That's the atta. Just done. Yeah. Takes a minute. Alright, we're going to check this now. Mindful, steaming away from you. You don't want it to be opening on your face and burning. So, check. See how this is coming along. The mutton sort of oozing out its own lovely gamey flavor, the lamb. Spice notes are nice, it's a subtle sharpness, nice rounded aromatic flavors. Good. And let's see how far are we done. So this is a bony piece. You want to take a bony piece and check it. So still a bite. Still a bite, probably 15-20 minutes more. Alright, it's been close to 45 minutes, 50 minutes-ish. The water is bubbling away. We're going to check the lamb right now, and it's almost done. We're going to blanch the rice. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So look, it's lovely. The moisture has reduced. It's going to reduce further. At this stage, we're going to take out the stems of coriander and mint. The job is done. All the flavors got lovely, sort of infused in the yakni. Okay, so we're going to just get rid of all this. I mean, you can leave it as well, but I think it's best to take it out because you're not going to eat it. So, oh, it's cooked well. Look at that. The lamb is coming up nicely. There are no whole spices, so you're no worry for the flavors to get jarred when you bite on them. So have these. Chilies can come out if you don't want the chilies. Yeah, so that's more or less it. Good. So let's blanch the rice now. We'll let it keep simmering for a while, okay? So we can taste the salt again at this stage because it's been boiling for some time. Nice. Okay, so that's the rice. Soaked in for good 45 minutes. It's beautiful. The starch has gone off and now we just blanch it. So we'll just put it here. Okay. Every single grain must go. That's the whole beauty. Alright. Give it a nice full steam on. Nice full steam on. Okay. Cover it back. The temperature has gone a little low, so we bring it up, and I'll probably say 7-ish minutes. So we can time it. 7 minutes. Starts boiling. We're gonna throw all the water away, reserve the rice, and put it on the serve. In the meanwhile, let's focus on the lamb and get it ready to the T. What do I mean by getting it ready to the T? Is check the seasoning, the flavor, the texture, extra moisture. We're gonna remove it out. We can always put it on the top of the rice if we have to, and all that stuff as well. Okay, so let's do that. That's the lemon which was in it, so it's sort of all the flavors, the acid has sort of been imparted to this beautiful dish. So as of now, the moisture looks a little too much for the rice because we don't want the rice to cook in it. So we'll remove a bit of the moisture, or you can let it dry further and get intense flavors. But remember, you don't want it to get too thick because the steam, the aromas need to get into the rice, okay? So let's take out a little bit of the juices. And this is the beauty, you want to reserve it because this is like salad. With the biryani, you can add that top and top on your biryani and have that as well for extra moisture if you like. Oh, this is a price. The priced juices. Beautiful. Look at the texture. Just look at the texture. Look at the texture. It's beautiful. Alright, so you don't want to reduce it too much. Now that's beautiful. We simmer it down. Taste it again. Keep tasting it to get that sort of perfect aroma and flavors. Nice lemony. Okay. Beautiful. I don't need to do much in it right now. But what I could do is add in a bit of fried onion at this stage. If you want to put extra mint, you could do that. I'm not going to mint at this stage. This is great. I, however, might sprinkle a bit of those petals and this beautiful sort of emulsion of cream, ghee, spices, and saffron. I'm just going to put a little bit here. Not too much. Just to sort of continue the flavors going on. Okay, let's check this. Let's put it on sim to almost close. I've actually switched it off right now. It's nice and hot. It's been about 4 minutes. That's how you check it. You look at, we call it in Hindi, we call it kani. Ek kani as in just a little bite. But that's what it is right now. I think we need a couple of more minutes. Probably give it 2 more minutes. We don't want to fully cook it because we want the flavors to go in, but we don't want it either to be so underdone that the mutton is almost cooked. By the time the rice cooks, the mutton gets squishy. So it's finding the right balance. But do not be stressed. Cook the mutton to almost done, to done if you like, and the rice just about under. Let's say if you were to boil it for 10 minutes, boil it for 7 minutes, spread it on the top, there's enough moisture for it to sort of cook. So don't worry, it's great, it's very simple. And stir it gently. That's a beauty. We as chefs believe that you shouldn't break a single grain of rice. That's beauty. That's beauty. And certainly when you try it a couple of times, you don't need to look at the watch. You can just kind of bite and know when it's right. That's experience. There you go. Gentle, gentle. The oven's nice preheated. It's sitting at about 160, 170. We'll leave it for about 15 minutes. And the dinner time is shortly getting there, so everything is timed perfectly well. Okay, I believe this is time. Yes, it is time. Okay, switch it off. The other colanders, got the colander ready, and we'll crack on right now. There you go. We've just strained it, and look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. So now this is the real beauty. So what we're going to do, put this on the side, put this on the side, check the moisture. Do we need a little more? I guess probably a little bit more around here. Flavors are good. We'll just spread it out now. That's what we do. Spreading it evenly on both sides. Evenly on both sides. Gentle with the rice. We don't want to break the rice. Flavors to be intact. Switch it on at this stage right now. Okay, what are we going to do? we are now going to put this lovely emulsion on top. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Take that ladle. This emulsion. Fantastic. Lovely. A bit more fried onions. Roast petal. We're going to simmer. Now, we're going to put the dough sealing that I was talking to you about. That's the dough. We're going to actually use the tabletop if you like. And roll it up, okay? This is what we do. Roll it in. Roll it. Roll it, roll it. And start putting on the side. Don't worry, I've got some more. Okay. So, continue from the outer. Okay. Sealing it now. That's a final thing. Now you only get to open it when it's done. 1, 2, and okay, open this, switch it off, time it 15 minutes. Alright, there you go. Great, baby. Oops. That's the moment of truth every chef sort of experiences when you open it up. So we can't wait for those 15 minutes till it's sort of getting those final flavors all getting captured inside for that intense bust when you open it up before you eat it. So I've got this lovely salad flavors. Yeah, we're gonna have the dahiki chutney, some salad on the side, biryani, as simple as that. So 15 minutes. So now this is the moment of truth that every chef sort of gets a bit excited with. It's been about 25 odd minutes in the oven, preheated at about close to 180 degrees, and we do the honors to sort of unravel the beauty right now. Right? If you look, there's lovely steam coming out from the corners, and the steam is almost sort of, should I say, translucent. It's not too smoky white, which tells that the moisture has been reduced. So if you want to come closer and have a look at that. Beautiful sort of steam. Yeah? And let's take it out. Alright, there you go. So that is what it is, the moment of truth. So we just unravel it right now, we just open it up. And I'm just going to try that. And beauty. There you go. Now that's beauty. And the way to open the biryani as well is from the corners of the wall, not right in the middle, so you don't mess around with the rice, and the grains need to be intact. So that's what you do. You go down, you scrape through, and then you sort of
actually take that bit of rice from here. That beautiful piece there. Look at the meat falling off the bone. That's beauty. My mouth's watering, can't wait. And now that's the yogurt I was talking to you about. It's as simple as that. It's got flavors of garlic, a bit of chopped onion. A bit of taste. Look at that. Look at the beauty of the meat falling off the bone. Oh, that's beauty. Okay. A lovely balance of cardamom, mace, rose petals, and the creaminess of the garlic yogurt with this beautiful rice. So I told you it wasn't that difficult, simple to cook at home with what you have in the cupboards. Yeah, so a pretty much lockdown biryani if you like. Love it, I love the fragrance, simple, easy. Enjoy yourself.